Okay. All right. So we got Trenton here. He topped our half case tournament the last Wednesday.
Third place.
Yeah.
Played Unchained. Probably the second best deck in the format right now, behind Rescue Ace in my opinion. So here's the list. Went 3-1. Didn't play against, I played against, round 1 was Scareclaw, Cash Scareclaw. Round 2 was Pearly, won. Round 3 was Sword Soul, I won. Round 4 was like Horus Dragon Link, I think. I got bodied because I bricked somehow in this deck, which doesn't happen. And round 5 was a bye because it got late. But here's the list. So first, one of the strongest cards in the deck, Tour Guide. Summons Fiendish. 1-card combo. You see it, if you see it in your hand, it also baits out a negate because they kind of have to negate it. Problem is, if you only open it, you just lose the game because they're going to Ash, Imperm, Veiler, Droll. Well, they can't Droll, but... So, it's good for that, consistency reasons. For the actual Unchained cards, 3 Sharvara, 3 Aruha. The reds are the best cards in the deck, in my opinion. Sharvara is literally a custom card. I don't know why they printed it. Aruha kind of sucks because it locks you into Fiends, which you'll see why that's actually relevant. But usually these two are like fine. Keep these at 3, both of them. Shama, Rakea, A-Bomb, and Sarama. These cards are broken. Shama's broken, recurs itself. If your opponent DD Crows it, you're fucked, I guess. I mean, you can still do things, but it's really bad. That didn't happen to me once, though, I think. Or maybe it did. I don't remember, because most people I played against didn't even know how this deck worked, because nobody plays it at my locals for some god reason. So, Rakea, it's okay. It's like another name to summon from deck, but that's it. It's like also your other normal summon, because you only really want to normal summon like Tour Guide and like this, or Sarama maybe, but most of the time you want to keep Sarama in deck or special summon it so that you can set your trap. A-Bomb, this was glued to my hand like the entire locals, and it was actually good. It came up many times. Basically, if you add this to hand with like Yama, if you already have everything else, it's another form of interruption on your opponent's turn. Because if a card's destroyed on your field, you literally summon it, pop a card on their field for this card. And also, if you have this plus like Sharvara or Aruha, it's full combo. So it's actually relevant, actually comes up. I think I'd keep these ratios. Because you don't want to see them in your hand usually. You want to keep them in deck so that you can summon them from your deck. But yeah. And then for the spells and traps, you got 3 Prison, 3 Escape, 2 Chamber. Prison, I didn't really see in my hand that much. It's fine. You run 3 because it searches or is a pop. Escape's good. Usually want it in your hand. I think Chamber is like the best one. Almost, quite, maybe. The only reason I say that is because most of the time I'd play, I would set this from deck and like reset it with Sarama, just because plays through Nib. Unless you play through Nib on your opponent's, like if your opponent Nibs, you just pass your turn, summon Rage, you have an interruption at least. So most of the time I'd set that, but yeah. And now for the best part of the deck almost. This shit was crazy all day. DDD. This is just crazy. This package, don't drop it. Don't drop it. That one guy got second place with Fenrir's instead, but I think you just shouldn't drop this. It's just crazy. Literally, if your opponent doesn't really know what you're doing, you do this, they usually Ash it, so you get a negate out of the way. Or if they have a board, it forces out a negate on their side, because if you play this, summon, Machinex, pop a card on their field, they have to negate it. So it baits out a negate as well. Which did come up a lot. So this engine's really good. And also if your Dark Contract gets negated, you can also just pop it with one of your Unchains later on, because it stays on the field, pop it with an Unchained card. So this is just broken all day. I think this should not be dropped. This is just broken. It's just crazy. Now for everything else, 3 Pot of Prosperity. You have to run it for consistency. The deck is already really consistent, but the deck can run Prosby, so you run Prosby because you can. Really good. I didn't see it that much, but when I did, it usually got me something I needed. Like one time I added a Talents and then activated the Talents to rip a card. I think I ripped a Droll. Or no, it wouldn't have been a draw. It was a nib. I ripped something really good off of it, so really good. Now for hand traps, non-engine, 3 ash, 3 nib, 2 talents, 3 imperm. Nib was like okay. I didn't see it much, so it wasn't really doing anything. It's like okay, ash is still the best hand trap in the game. Well, maybe not the best, but it's really good against like into everything. Imperm, same, pretty good against everything. Didn't come up that much. Also, you can set it and pop it with an Unchained monster if you need to. So it
Same
came
goes
up,
for talents, right?
yeah, same goes for talents. Usually though, you keep talents in hand. Talents actually came up a lot because we're in such a hand trap heavy format, and usually you don't need to do the draw too, because Unchained usually like is so consistent that usually you don't need to draw another card to full combo, even through a negate, just because of how resistant this deck is to hand traps. So you just rip another hand trap out of their hand, or rip something they need for a combo. Or one time I ripped a droplet out, I ripped a droll out, and I ripped a nib out, which all basically won me my games. So I maybe like run thrust as well. I don't have thrust because I don't feel like spending $100 on it. But thrust is also really broken because you can set your Unchained traps and spells from deck and then pop them with your engine. So that would be really good. I think that's be like the one change, was maybe I'd take out some cards for thrust. Maybe, I don't know how I'd make room. Maybe drop like, maybe one talents, 1 thrust, or like 2 talents, 2 thrusts in the main and just put talents in the side. That's like the only changes I'd really make to this deck if I had more money. Other than the extra deck, which we will talk about soon. So that was all of the main deck. 40 cards. Don't want to go over 40. You can, because the deck's so consistent, even if you go over 40. But I wanted to be as consistent as possible, and I still bricked my entire round 4. I bricked every single game. Well, I had 4 guide, but it got negged every time. So now we're going to go into the extra deck. Most of this is pretty standard. Double Yama. I maybe would run 3. Didn't really come up to where I'd need a 3rd one, but just as a prospe target, I guess. I ordered a 3rd one that didn't come in. 2 Rage, 1 Anguish, 1 A-Bomb. You kind of need all these. Anguish came up a lot, actually, because I went second a lot, and this card really lets you break boards going second or bait out a negate or anything. Against Pearly, I like hand trap my opponent. They couldn't do anything. On their turn, I just made this and was able to just steal their monster for Link, summoning A-Bomb, pop some other cards. A-Bomb came up a little bit. It's basically pop 2 for free every single time you summon it, because you're always gonna after it probably destroy a card on field, so destroys another card, and then at end phase it destroys. Usually doesn't come up at end phase because usually you broke their whole board by then or won the game, but you kind of have to run all these mandatory. 1 Muckracker. Didn't make it too much. It's mainly to go in the Griffin lines or play through Nib. I think I got nibbed like once, but I was like misplaying that whole game, so it was just bad, but I still won. Muckracker's really good. You need this card. I don't have ISP because I don't feel like buying it yet. I have Azalea. It's okay. It didn't really it came up once, and it actually was good because you can pop your own spells and traps with it. So you can pop your own Unchained cards to summon from deck, but I mean, it's just okay. At that point, like, you probably lost already at that point if you're having to go into this. So usually I just prospected it. Unicorn, Griffin. I don't think I made Unicorn once. I made Griffin once, and I think I ended up actually losing that game somehow. Griffin's okay. It usually is like lines to play around Nibiru. You end on like Griffin, Muckracker, Griffin in middle zone. So it's usually good, but some decks just don't care. And I didn't really play against any decks. I didn't like play, and I was like, I didn't want to make it because I think the normal inboard's just better than Griffin. Griffin's okay though, and it sets back a trap, which I'll mention soon. And then last link, Underworld Goddess. I didn't make it once, but it's really good going second. That's really all I have to say about it. I didn't
White
make it.
women jump scare.
Yeah, I didn't make it once, but if I did, it wins you games, so you kind of have to run it. I'm running Machinex, High King. I'm only running one. A lot of people like to run two, but like I don't really have space for that, and I don't own another one, so I don't have two of them. And Machinex is just broken. Lets you pop your own cards, lets you pop other cards.
What time?
Lets you pop other cards. This is just broken. This is the most broken card in the deck, actually, in my opinion. 2 special summon negate destroys for free, basically, because you're always end on it. If they evenly, you just keep this, and they usually can't even play through it. Machinex also, if you're playing against like Flu specifically, which I didn't play against, you can go into this and then summon Machinex over, and that's actually good against Flu because Flu doesn't special summon, so this card literally doesn't do anything, but this card actually does things. So if you're playing against specifically Flu, this is also really good. But I didn't play against Flu. There was 2 Flu players, top 4, didn't play against either of them. Thank God. That matchup is terrible for this deck, and I just hate that deck. Zeus, I didn't make it. I maybe could have. Most of the time, I would like attack with this and then be like, I don't see a reason to go into Zeus because this guy's literally just better in every way. On opponent's turn, there's like no point of really going into Zeus unless I don't know. I never saw a point to go into Zeus. I guess maybe if you're going second, you make this attack. You can make Zeus if you're playing against a deck that doesn't special summon, but that's like it didn't come up. The last card, this is kind of a little bit of spice. Not really. It didn't come up once the whole day, sadly. I wanted to play it, but it just didn't come up. Beatrice, which you'll see in the side deck. Beatrice also, on your opponent's turn, can send Sharvara from deck to grave to set you another trap if you need it. It didn't come up. I wish it did, because when it does come up, it's pretty broken. But Beatrice didn't come up once, sadly. I really wanted to make it, but I didn't make it a single time the whole day. So, and then the side deck, most of it's standard. Most of it's usually normal, except for a few things. Droll, I didn't really see it. When it came up, but I mean, I didn't really see it all day. Even when I sided it, I didn't see like any of my side deck cards except for like Lightning Storm. One Lancia. I had an open space, and my friend was playing Flu, so I said, fuck you, and put Lancia on my side just because I thought it would be funny. And it's an ultimate rare. Ooh. 3 evenly, didn't come up. I mainly had it for like Unchained Mirror Match and like Rescue Ace. It's really, really good against those decks. There was no other Unchained players at the locals, and 2 Rescue Ace players. One won, the other dropped out super early. I didn't play against the deck, so I didn't side this ever, just because I didn't think it was worth it. One Disaster. You don't want to run it in the main because it's a brick. Run it in the side. It's fine. It does its job. I don't think I made it. I think I made it like once, and I mean, at that point, by the point you're making this, you already won. So, 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Harpies, pretty standard. This card's limited to 2. If it was at 3, I'd be playing 3. This won me like a game, I think. I Lightning Storm back row against Scareclaw. And then just broke their board from there because the deck's too crazy going second. Harpies, I don't think I sided it once because I didn't play against any back row decks. So I didn't even like use that. And then here's the cards for Beatrice, Necro World, Zombie World, D-Barrier, Anti-Spell. Zombie World didn't come up. I guess for Flu, it works really well against Flu and some other decks like Sword Soul would work against. I don't know. It didn't come up. It's fine. And then D-Barrier and Anti-Spell. 1 of each because you pitch them with Beatrice and then you can reset them with Griffin. I didn't go into this line in any of my games, so I never saw these cards. D-Barrier, basically you set up a board, and if you have Griffin plus D-Barrier, you basically already won the game. Same with Anti-Spell. Anti-Spell is really, really, really good with Griffin, and just because it doesn't have any protection other than like the Muckracker that you make. So Anti-Spell is really, really good. Just to like stop your opponent from Lightning Storming you evenly. Well, it doesn't stop evenly, but Lightning Storm, just all kinds of spells. It's just broken. Didn't come up though, so yeah. And that is 15 card side deck because that's what we're limited to. And that was everything. I think the side deck and the extra deck need to be adjusted because they're not really good, but I think I really I'm proud of my main deck. I think it's fun. It's pretty standard, nothing like new, but I really liked it. Yeah, not much more to say. It's Unchained. I love this deck. Been playing it for years. New support. They printed custom cards, so those really helped the deck. And hopefully, Tour Guide doesn't get banned.